Have you ever wondered what would happen if the same asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs slammed into Earth today? In this video, we're diving deep into that nightmare scenario. But first, let's travel back 66 million years. Imagine a massive space rock, 10 to 15 kilometers wide, screaming toward Earth. When it hit, it blasted a crater 180 kilometers wide, sending temperatures skyrocketing to thousands of degrees. Anything within range? Gone in a split second. Then came the aftermath. A massive magnitude 11 earthquake shook the entire planet, while tsunamis hundreds of meters high battered the continents. As debris rained back down from space, it ignited global wildfires, turning the Earth into a literal furnace. The smoke and dust choked the atmosphere, blotting out the sun and plunging the world into darkness for years. Temperatures plummeted. Plants died, then the herbivores, and finally the predators. The dinosaurs never stood a chance. It was the ultimate extinction event. But now, the terrifying question. What if that same asteroid headed for Earth right now? To understand the chaos, we have to look at the days and even hours before the impact. NASA would almost certainly detect the threat. They'd immediately alert world governments. But here's the scary part. They might keep it a secret from you. To prevent global riots and total anarchy, the truth would be kept behind closed doors. While you're going about your day, governments would be activating secret protocols. Leaders, top scientists, and genetic seed banks would be rushed into deep underground bunkers. But secrets don't last long. Rumors would start leaking onto social media. The internet would explode with panic as the realization sets in. This is the end. Suddenly, the price of food and medicine skyrockets. Store shelves go empty in minutes. And then, just hours before the world changes forever, the internet goes dark. Banking systems fail, total silence. The countdown to the end begins. Minutes before the end, a blinding speck of light appears in the sky, growing larger and more terrifying by the second. An asteroid, screaming toward Earth at 30 kilometers per second, finally makes contact. The impact carves a massive crater, 200 kilometers wide, launching billions of tons of rock and debris straight into the stratosphere. Within 500 kilometers, it's instant hell. Temperatures skyrocket to thousands of degrees. Every living thing, every building, every memory simply vanishes in a heartbeat. From 500 to 1,000 kilometers, the heat is unsurvivable. Giant firestorms ignite everything in their path, turning the landscape into a literal furnace. Up to 1,500 kilometers, a massive shockwave shatters cities like glass. Unless you're in a deep, reinforced underground bunker, survival is impossible. But the horror doesn't stop there. The impact triggers mega tsunamis, with waves reaching up to 1,000 meters high. These walls of water race across the globe. The Americas are hit first by 100-meter waves, followed hours later by 15-meter surges crashing into the coasts of Europe and Africa. Then the sky begins to fall. Within the first 24 hours, the debris launched into space rains back down as a global firestorm. For 12 hours, the entire planet is pelted by molten rock. These fires consume 40% of Earth's forests in a single day. By the end of the first 24 hours, 1 to 2 billion people are dead, taken by the blast, the tsunamis, or the flames. Modern civilization collapses. Governments fall, armies vanish, and the world as we know it is over. In the first week after the impact, while monstrous wildfires are still swallowing entire continents, a thick shroud of soot and ash rises, spreading through the stratosphere. This debris chokes out the sun. Earth is plunged into a terrifying absolute darkness. Suddenly, global temperatures plummet by 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. The world freezes. Power grids, water systems, and gas lines fail. Solar panels become useless in the endless night. People abandon their jobs and titles. The only thing that matters now is survival.
But a hidden danger lurks. Nuclear power plants require constant water and electricity to stay cool. Without them, reactors begin to overheat, bringing the world to the brink of a radioactive nightmare.
The atmosphere is now thick with charged particles, and the satellites we rely on are gone. Long-range radio signals die. Every neighborhood, every city is cut off, trapped in total silence. This psychological isolation accelerates the social collapse tenfold. Each survivor thinks they are the last person on Earth. As global fires suck the oxygen out of the air, the atmosphere heats up like an oven, followed by toxic acid rain that turns the oceans black, wiping out all marine life near the surface. The world is now a wasteland of scarcity. No food, no medicine, no clean water. Chaos and looting turn the streets into a battlefield.
Just 7 days after the impact, Earth is no longer the home we knew. Over 4 billion people, half of the human population, are gone, claimed by hunger, the freezing cold, and the rapid spread of disease. The age of humanity has ended. The age of shadows has begun. 1 to 6 months after the impact, those who survived the blast, the tsunamis, the earthquakes, and the firestorms now face a far more ruthless enemy: the total collapse of the ecosystem. The Earth's temperature has plummeted by as much as 40 degrees. Most survivors have already exhausted their emergency rations and canned goods. The grocery stores, they were looted and emptied months ago.
The world has been trapped in a shadow for 3 months. Without sunlight, photosynthesis stops. Every plant and tree that survived the fires now withers and dies in the frozen dark. The remaining herbivores starve to death. Every lake and river is a solid block of ice. Constant acid rain poisons the oceans, killing off the plankton and coral reefs, the very foundation of life on Earth. Trillions of frozen fish wash up on blackened shores. It is a graveyard that spans the globe. By now, 75 to 80% of the human population has perished from the extreme cold, rampant disease, and starvation. The remaining pockets of humanity have turned desperate and violent. In a world with nothing left, humans become the ultimate predators. But the question remains, are we destined to follow the dinosaurs? Is this the end of the human story?
The answer is no. While the world above freezes, a chosen few are hidden deep underground. Strategic bunkers in the US, Norway, and Russia are designed to survive for years in total isolation. These aren't just shelters, they are high-tech fortresses powered by nuclear or geothermal energy. Inside, life continues under artificial suns. Using hydroponic systems, survivors grow nutrient-rich crops without a single drop of natural rain. These facilities also house modern-day Noah's Arks, global seed banks, and frozen animal embryos. As long as the liquid nitrogen cooling stays online, the blueprints of life remain safe. This is the difference. Unlike the dinosaurs who relied solely on instinct, humanity has 2 weapons that prevent our biological extinction: knowledge and artificial energy. But the real question is, when can we go back home?
1 to 2 years after. Earth is at its coldest point. Large mammals that survived the first week finally vanish, with nothing left to eat. Only the scavengers, rats, cockroaches, and fungi cling to life in the ruins. 3 to 5 years after. The dust finally settles, and sunlight touches the ground for the first time. But there's a deadly catch. The ozone layer has been 80% destroyed by the impact. Anyone stepping outside without protection would be blinded and burned by lethal UV radiation within minutes. As the ice melts, massive superstorms and landslides reshape the continents. The massive amount of CO2 released by the global fires triggers a runaway greenhouse effect. The planet swings from a deep freeze into a scorching fever, potentially becoming even hotter than before the impact. The timeline of recovery: 5 to 10 years. Survivors can finally walk the surface, but only with protective suits and masks. 15 to 30 years. The soil is finally clear of acid, the ozone begins to heal, and farming becomes possible in the open air once again. 100 years. Small forests and grasslands return. Civilization begins to stabilize. 30,000 years. This is how long it takes for the oceans and wildlife to reach a true balance, returning Earth to its former glory. In the end, this asteroid may destroy our world, but it cannot destroy our will to survive.